And a very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Issues and Attitudes. My name is Jeff Owens, director of WEIU. We're on Your 13 Television, WEIU TV, and FM. Today we're going to be talking to the new Eastern Illinois University women's basketball coach. Filling in for Casey Berry today is WEIU sports guy Steve Mork.
How's it going, everybody?
Thanks for filling in, Steve. And welcome, Coach Buchanan, Lee Buchanan, the new head coach of EIU women's Panther basketball.
Well, thank you very much. I'm excited to be here. In some ways, all I've really done is just moved over about 18 inches into a new seat, but you know, to be named the head coach and entrusted with this program is really exciting, and it's an opportunity for myself and my family just to see what we can do here. So you know, it's time to get it going.
And we appreciate it. It's been a whirlwind morning. You had 11 o'clock press conference, and then Rich Moser scooped you right over here. You walked in just in time, so kind of a crazy morning for you.
Yeah, it's really been about a crazy week. You know, to be honest with you, it's amazing. You know, when you're named the head coach at really whatever sport, the amount of phone calls and text messages and emails and people reaching out to you to thank you and people you have to reach out to thank. It's really been a crazy week, but it's kind of official now, I guess, you know, with the actual press conference, and so I'm just excited about getting started. There's a whole lot of things that have got to be done between now and November 9th when we tip the ball off, so I need to jump into that part of it right now.
Yeah, that's where I wanted to go next, actually. Talk about, you know, you're named the head coach, you've got a pretty good team coming back,
right.
But what do you do from now until, you know, basketball practice starts?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we do have a veteran club coming back, so that certainly helps, but with that, you also know we're going to lose 5 seniors to graduation, so, you know, our class of 2013, the girls that'll be high school seniors, you know, we've really got to get going on that part of it and start recruiting that part of it. Now, the good news is for about the last year and a half, we've been cultivating a list. So we have a list of almost 50 players that have some interest in EIU. We have interest in them. So it's not like we're just starting from the ground floor. So at least we have that done. But, you know, finishing the schedule, hiring a staff, you know, we've got basketball camp coming up here at the end of the month. July is a big recruiting month where we're out. So I've got to try to get a staff in place so we can all get out on the road and recruit. And then, of course, when August hits, we're going to try to get ready for our own players to get back in here. So, because, you know, that's who we really are. It's the welfare of our student athletes that are the most important to us, and their academic and athletic achievements. So we've got to really just do all the things behind the scenes up until when school starts, and then, of course, we start conditioning and lifting and basketball, and then before you know it, it's game time.
There you go. I know Coach Babers was talking recently that he was really happy that a lot of his kids and student athletes stayed over the summer.
Yeah.
Are the Panthers here for the summer, or how's the?
Yeah, actually, I think all but about one, Sabina Orsova, who's from Slovakia, of course, is not coming back for summer school. She's taking the class actually overline. That's the beauty of technology in today's world. But yeah, the others will all be here on campus taking classes starting next Monday. And so for me, that's really exciting because it gives me a chance to sit down with each of them. And even though they know me, now they're going to see me in a little bit different light. So, you know, at least it gives me a chance to sit down with them individually and collectively. And it's almost like, I guess they're almost like your daughters in the fact that it gives you a real comfort to be in front of them and kind of talk about your vision and share things with them. So I'm excited about seeing them real soon.
Like, what are you going to plan on coming from Coach Salih's system? Are you changing anything differently, or are you going to bring in the same type of offense and defense, or are you going to run a little different?
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, we run the motion offense, the 4-out, 1-in motion, and it's been real good to us. And the thing about that system is the players that we have here now and the players on that recruiting list kind of fit that system. So the last thing I want to do is start, you know, upsetting the apple cart and changing things, especially with a veteran club. Now, if we had a bunch of rookies, we might try to do that. But I'm a motion guy, and so that'll pretty much stay the same. Defensively, we'll still play a lot of man-to-man. I'm probably play a lot more zone than Brady did. Brady was just hard-nosed man-to-man, and I'm okay with that, but I do like a little more zone. We'll still play up-tempo, and the beauty of the motion game is it's a team concept offense, but it also allows individuals to kind of shine in their own light. And as you guys may know, Kenya Nixon, one of our starred players, she needs a little bit of freedom where she can do some things. So we're going to keep that pretty much the same. I mean, I think when you have a winning recipe, you just don't throw the recipe away. I think we can enhance it and change up a few things, but it'll pretty much be the same in that way.
One of the things I wanted to really talk about is, you know, you've been the assistant coach, and sometimes the assistant coach are more of the fathers, and they can get to know the student athletes and the kids better, but now you are the man.
Yeah.
Are you going to approach it differently, or how will you work with the student athletes that way?
Well, you know, I've been a head coach in the past for 20 years, so I've kind of got that experience behind, you know, that I can kind of play off of a little bit. But you're right. I mean, I think one of the reasons that Brady and I work so well together, we were sometimes good cop, bad cop type of situations. So, you know, Brady kind of kicking him in the hind end and me kind of patting him on the back. So, yeah, I have, but I've always been one of those coaches that cares about players as people first and not because they can shoot a jump shot. So that's not going to change for me. You know, I think the biggest change will be from the players aspect, like, why is Coach hollering at me all of a sudden? You know, because I really haven't done that a whole lot. So I think that I might hurt a feeling or two here along the way. But overall, I think my passion and my compassion kind of come through in me, and the players kind of get that from being around me and know that I do really care about them as people first.
I read in the paper that while you were waiting for the announcement to hopefully come, you didn't sleep a wink.
Yeah.
Now that you've known for a few days, has it set in? Have you slept and all?
Yeah, you know, it was as stressful as it is waiting. You know, the interviewing and me talking in front of people or talking on the radio, those are easy things. You know, I'm long-winded. I like doing it. It doesn't bother me. But the waiting process after I interviewed seemed like forever. And then I was joking with some people that for the first time in my life, I didn't realize that Memorial Day weekend wasn't a 3-day weekend. It was a 3-week weekend. You know, it just seemed like it dragged on for me. But and then when I was named a week ago as a head coach, I was up till 2:30 that morning just answering emails and thinking about things. And so those first couple of days have been tough. But I've been able to lay down a little bit and take a nap here or there. But, you know, there's a lot to do. And it's okay. Like, I'm excited about that. And I'm a workaholic anyway. So just kind of taking on all the things and putting out fires and trying to do things to stop fires from starting. And so those are all the things I'm working on now. And then once I get a staff in here, as I joked this morning in the press conference, right now I'm the head coach, I'm the assistant, I'm the other assistant, I'm the other assistant. So I'm doing 4 things at one time.
So you know what Steve and I are going to ask you next. I mean, you know, what are the play? I mean, I know you want to get the staff in place, but are you? I mean, are we have announcements soon? Within a week, 2 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to start telephone interviews this week, and you know, I've reached out to some people. Some people have reached out to me. You know, I think for me personally as a head coach, I'm looking to put a staff in place that not necessarily have the same strength as I do. You know, I want a staff that has all kinds of different strengths, so together we're even that much stronger. But also that's important to me is the integrity of the person, the character of the person, because this is a special place and this is a special program and we have special players. And I don't want anything to disrupt the character of our program and the things that we do. So to me, it's more about finding the right person that fits into the community, into EIU, that's going to enhance our players and not take away from them.
Steven?
What kind of sort of adjustments are you going to make from moving that 18 inches from one seat to the next? What kind of adjustments as a coach are you going to try to make this coming season?
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, I've been a head coach for 20 years, so that helps a little bit. You know, I've called timeouts. You know, I've given pregame speeches. I've given halftime speeches, which aren't always the real nice ones. But so, you know, I think for me, having been a head coach and having been in this business for such a long time, I just got to be me. You know, early in my career, I tried to be like other people, and now I just got to be me. And my passion will come out at times, and my intensity comes out at times. But at the same time, I am compassionate. I'll pat the players on the back, win or lose, and let them know that, you know, we're all pulling the rope in the same direction. So there's not going to be a lot of things. I mean, it'll take time, but people will recognize some differences and putting my stamp on the program. But again, the beauty of my situation is I've been a part of a program for 5 years. So, you know, there may be subtle changes or subtle little things that look different, but as long as we continue to win and be successful, then, you know, who really cares?
Exactly. And the added, I guess, pressure would be that, you know, I came to Eastern 10 years ago, but, you know, NEIU women's basketball was not a major sport here.
Right.
Coach Saleh, in the past 5 years, you guys have won a lot of ball games.
Right.
So that pressure is to win, I think, a little bit next year in the OVC and hopefully beyond, correct?
Yeah, without a doubt. You know, when I first was named the coach, I called Brady and I said, boy, you got big shoes to fill. You know, he's done some phenomenal things here. And I knew that. I knew that applying that there's going to be that pressure to try to not only keep it at this level, but maybe try to raise it to the next level. I also knew that regardless of what we've done in the past, there's going to be comparison, good and bad. Like, well, that's not the way Brady did it. That's the way Lee does it. Blah blah blah. So I think there's always going to be that. But I knew that going in, and I'm okay with those pressures. You know, I believe in myself and my abilities, and again, I've been in this business a long time. So, am I going to make a mistake here or there along the way? Probably so. But you know, so do all coaches. And but my fiery, compassionate, competitive spirit will certainly be there, and that's been there for the last 5 years. So, but yeah, I think the one thing that we all want is to try to win that OVC conference tournament and try to get this team to the NCAA tournament. I think that's one thing we've always talked about. That's one thing we've always tried to do, and hopefully that's the next step.
I remember Bone Phillips said in 1 year we knocked on it, the next year we kicked on that door, and you know, possibly this year with Tanya coming back and the other 4 seniors, it would be a great first year to get to the NCAA's, right?
Yeah, and
no pressure though, Coach.
No pressure at all. But we talk about that a lot with our team. Just about you know, people don't remember how you came in; they remember how you go out. And boy, would it be fitting to send these 5 seniors out with a conference tournament championship and an NCAA bid. That would be really special, certainly for me, but even more so for these young ladies that have put in hours and hours and hours of practice.
How great was it that Coach Sully really recommended you for this job? I mean, when you work under a guy, and obviously you were friends, but still, he didn't have to do that, and he did it glowingly, actually.
Yeah, no, you know, Brady and I go way back. I actually was a head coach at an early age, and Brady was a graduate student at the college level, helping out a program that we used to play. And then we've just always followed each other's career. And in fact, when he was at East Carolina, I was at Southern Miss, so we were both in Conference USA. And we've always talked about maybe working together. And I think at an early years ago, he always thought he'd be working for me. But when the times change and I'm still working for him, you know, he gave me an opportunity. And for that, you know, you can't ever thank somebody enough. He gave me an opportunity to come here and help him and grow as a coach and show me the ropes kind of at this level. And we talked about, hey, you know, this will hopefully springboard you to becoming a coach. Now, we never thought it might be here, but, you know, what better place? So, yeah, no, Brady and I, from working together, goes way past that back into our friendship from years and years and years ago.
Okay. Steve?
You talked about getting to the NCAA tournament. What steps do you think you need to take this coming year to try to get there?
Yeah, you know, we've already kind of started making some of those steps as far as, you know, just I think when we go down there sometimes the players feel a tremendous amount of pressure. And so starting, you know, next week, we've got to start talking about, hey, that's when it's supposed to be fun, not pressure. You know, you guys are putting too many expectations on yourself and just preparing all year, because certain expectations are that this program is going to be down there anyway, playing for the championship. So if we already know that, let's embrace that and let's work towards that. And then, of course, you know, this is a game, so we need a little bit of luck. We need some of the things to kind of fall our way. And trust me, Brady and I changed up everything for 5 years. You know, we'd overemphasize the game, we'd underemphasize the game, we'd let them eat out, we wouldn't let them eat out. So we've tried a lot of different things. So, and I don't know if there's a formula. I don't know, but
and then last year you had the delay.
Yeah, then we had a whatever that was, a 25-minute delay. So yeah, I mean, a lot of things have been thrown our way, unfortunately, that have either been influential in us not winning. So I think if we embrace it and say, you know what, we're going to work every day in order to get there to win, I think then it takes a little pressure off.
And Brady always said about these this group of girls, I hate to call them girls, young ladies, that they love to play. Does the double bye when you do good actually, do you like that, I guess, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, one of the things that I really liked early in my career here was the fact that you play, if you were lucky enough to finish in the top 4, you got that first round game on your home floor. And so then when you won that game, it was like, wow, we're going to Nashville. It's kind of like you almost won something to go. And so that was really special. Now the format has changed, and it's always scary as a coach or as a team to have to sit around and watch other people play. Always. I don't care what sport it is. And so, and you know, so just dealing with that, knowing that, and talking about that. I mean, our players are very knowledgeable about the process, but maybe even just going deeper into, okay, listen, there's a chance we won't be playing the first round, and just talk about that and embrace those type of things. Like, okay, it'll be okay. That gives us more time to rest, and talk about the positive, because you're right. Sometimes players think, oh my gosh, we haven't played and they've already shot on these rims, or they've already run on this floor, and so they start building up these anxieties already before we even tip the ball off. So just. you know, hopefully, again, there's a little bit of luck to go along the way, but with a veteran club, hopefully we can just take everything we know and what we do and play our best basketball in March.
There you go. One of the things we like to talk about on this show is, kind of behind the scenes stuff. Take us behind the scenes of EIU women's basketball, how you envision it this coming season, what maybe people don't see that the new coach, Lee Buchanan, will be doing.
Sure. I mean, it's amazing that there's so many things that have to be done just in order to get a product out on the basketball floor. So, the players will be in summer school, and they'll be working with the strength and conditioning coach also for the next 6 weeks. I mean, I'm not allowed to do anything with them, but they'll play pickup ball on their own and do some things and kind of get the freshmen used to what we are and what we do and those type of things. But once they get here in the fall, right away we start our workout programs, basketball workout programs. They're lifting 3 days a week. We'll be running. Because first of all, you got to get them in shape and get them that way first, and then so that's a lot of hours in the gym, talking in meetings, getting those type of things ready, doing some team building concepts so that the players feel good about things and where we are and each other and those type of things, and just getting everybody kind of on the same page. And then of course early October we start practice. We're allowed 20 hours of practice a week, so I mean it's a lot of time and sacrifice that we all do to keep working, and a lot of film and a lot of correction, and not only that, a lot of people forget they're also student athletes. They got to go to class. They're doing 12 to 15 hours a week in the classroom. They've got study hall they've got to do. We try to get involved in community service, so there's other people pulling them in a different direction. It is amazing to me. I've been in this business a long time, and it's amazing to me how student athletes do so well handling or juggling classes and the preparation of trying to play basketball.
And one other thing that people might not think about, and Steve, I know I'm friends with Dave Johnson, the Lakeland women's coach, good buddy of mine, and he says he's a guy coaching women, and that's a whole other set of issues. I mean, that people don't think about as a coach.
Yeah, no, I became a head coach at the collegiate level when I was 25, and I was coaching women, and for the first 2 years, I think they were mad at me the whole time. Like, you just say things. And the one thing I learned is the female athlete, most of them are pleasers. They want to do well for you. They don't want to let you down. And so it took me a while to learn that. You motivate them a little different than you do, say, a male athlete. And if they know you care and they know you've got their back and those type of things, they're willing to run through the wall for you. So, but there's some other situations where, they need to sometimes talk to a female. They don't need to hear a guy talking all the time. So, and those are things that we work through. But it's been a blessing. I never thought in college that I'd be coaching women, but I've been doing it for 26 years, and it's just been a blessing. I just enjoy every day.
Okay, Steve?
Are you going to look, since you talked about the female athlete, you're going to look to more women assistant coaches to try to even that out a little bit more? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to have, some female coaches on staff, and I think it's important to have a male on staff. I know Brady and I used to joke before I got here, he was the one guy, and there were like 20 women traveling with him. I mean, there comes a time where a guy needs to talk to a guy, and so I think just that blend, and someone that the players feel comfortable approaching, whether it's male or female, and just sitting down and saying, hey, I need a little help on this class, or can you come down and rebound for me, or hey, I'm having this personal issue, can you talk? I think those are the types of things I'm looking for in assistants that can handle all that. It's just not Xing and Oing and throwing the ball out there and expecting to play. I mean, we only get to play about 29 or 30 games a year, so that's a small percentage of really what we do as coaches. We're really coach, parent, counselor, psychologist, a little bit of everything. So that in itself is important to me, is finding people that can handle all that as well.
Who are your coaching heroes? Who did you want to be? Like when you said you emulated people earlier, but who are out there, the John Woodens of the world, I guess?
Yeah, no, at an early age, somebody that really, and maybe a lot of your listeners won't even know who this is, but Digger Phelps was somebody that I really kind of, I don't know, he was at Notre Dame. I've always been a big Notre Dame fan, and he was at Notre Dame. And one of the things that always impressed me is he always wore a boutonniere on his jacket, and I don't know, he was very classy to me, and they were successful, and so those type of things. So that's somebody that I really kind of liked. And then as I got a little older, and Lou Holtz, even though he's a football coach, great motivator, great speaker, and those are. That's another coach that I've tried to.
Two Notre Dame guys.
Two Notre Dame guys, yeah. And but on the women's side, it's a little different, because Pat Summitt, of course, is phenomenal and done some wonderful things. Gino Auriemma has kind of come to light during my career, yeah. And so, I mean, I've read their books, but the thing about this business is there's no formula. You know, the way they do it may not work here, and so you try to take a little bit of people that you like their philosophies or their styles or their thoughts, and then you kind of mix your own in, and hopefully you have your own system and style. So, yeah, but you know, Brady Saleh, and then of course another coach that is kind of my mentor, Rick Reeves, who is at Gardner-Webb University. He and I started together at the high school level. I was his assistant early in my career. Then I was with him at Southern Miss, and you know, just the long talks and after bad losses or good wins, or you know, just guys that you can call and talk to and lean on every once in a while. Because this is a tough business sometimes, as far as sometimes you feel like you're on an island when things aren't going as well as you hope they will.
Do you ever want to coach against Coach Saleh?
You know, I don't really ever want to coach against friends in the business. It's really hard. You have so many mixed emotions as far as, God, because if you're in this business, you're probably really competitive already, and so your competitive drive, like I want to win and beat everybody. But then there comes that, gosh, I don't want. If I win, it means my friend has to lose. So it's really hard, and you know, they're not on the schedule. Probably won't be on the schedule as long as he's over there. So hopefully we won't have to do that. But you know, the thing I know about Brady is, like, he's there. He's a phone call away if I ever need anything, and to bounce ideas off of. And he knows the program as well as I do, and better than I do. So I'm sure there'll be some calls late night just to bend his ear a little bit.
Okay. When I brain lock this for a minute. When you talk about somebody else describing your philosophy, or how would Coach Saleh describe your coaching philosophy or coaching style on the court? What can we expect?
Sure. You know, I think I'm probably as patient as a coach as there possibly can be out there. I'm just like, you know, try it again, you know, do it again. And I joked this morning in the press conference, my son is a high school golfer here in town, and I'm less patient with him. You know, I'm like, hit it straight. Why aren't you hitting it straight? Whereas the basketball players, I'm like, okay, it's okay, do it again. So I'm a pretty patient coach. I'm a very fundamentalist. Like I just like ball handling, passing, dribbling, and Brady was too. But I think he would describe me as knowledgeable, compassionate, you know, very organized and structured. And that's one of the things that I tried to do when I came here with Brady, is like we really tried to structure our practices where we go fundamentals, we go to offense, we go to defense, we go to special situations, and we kind of go through that every day. So there's kind of a routine. The players kind of get used to it and understand it. But, you know, I think he would also describe me as intense. And the one thing I've learned over the years, the practice floor is a place where you're intense and you're correcting and you're teaching, but the games is a place you're just making adjustments. And so my philosophy is, like, do everything we need to do in practice to get the game plan hammered out, and then let me make adjustments and put the players in a position to be successful once the game starts.
Makes sense. 3 new high-profile coaches here at the Eastern University, you know, Babers, Spoonhour, Buchanan. Good thing, bad thing, your thoughts? Does it make it easier? You know, you have the luxury of being here,
right,
but you know, it's a big turnover.
You know, the person I feel the sorriest for is Barbara Burke. You know, I mean, she's had 3 searches. I mean, that may not ever happen again in her career, to 3 profile sports. But you know, I've met Coach Babers several times. He and I've talked. He's been to a few of our games last year. Coach Spoonhour's office is not far from mine, so you know, I'm sure we'll have a lot of long talks and drinks of coffee and talking about some different things. But no, I think sometimes, you know, a university or an athletic program needs new energy, needs new leadership, and so those guys, as well as myself, are going to bring new ideas and new thoughts, and so I think it's a good thing, you know, and hopefully we can continue some of the successes that have been here already.
Steve?
Do you have one certain opponent in the OVC? I know it's a pretty tough conference. Another team coming to the OVC this year. Is there one certain team you're looking out for this year to kind of?
He's a Murray State grad. We got to keep that.
I saw that.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know, you want to win them all, obviously, but the league is really, it's gone full circle since I've been here. You know, when I first got here, Southeast Missouri, SEMO was a team we couldn't get over the hump, you know, and now they've gone through a coaching change. They're kind of rebuilding their program, and so that's something that in the last few years we've been able to do pretty easy, whereas, you know, the Morehead states have always been a tough game for us. Austin Peay, of course, is a thorn in our side when tournament time comes around. But Eastern Kentucky, you know, they basically got everybody back. They play a real physical, grinding style, which is always an interesting game with us. Of course, UT Martin, you know, they've had great success over the last couple years and returned their 2 phenomenal guards. So that's always a tough game for us. Belmont's coming into the league, and so you always worry a little bit about a new opponent because you don't have that familiarity of, okay, well, they're going to do this, or she's going to call timeout here, or whatever. So those are some interesting ideas. Of course, SIUE has really done a good job of building their program, and now, of course, they're going through a new coaching change over there too. But so. Man, I tell you what, the one thing about me is I prepare for every game like I'm playing the national championship. And, I don't take anything for granted, and that's, I've done every scouting report since I've been here, so I know these teams really well, and my job now is to make sure our players know those teams as well as I do.
Hey, you talked a little bit at the beginning about you're still working on the schedule. Is there any non-conference highlights that we can talk about yet? Or?
Well, I mean, we're going to Wisconsin to play, another Big Ten school. That was something Brady and I always talked about, is trying to get some big-time school, big-time names. We played Missouri, we played Illinois since I've been here, we played Cincinnati since I've been here, so we always try to do one of those. Of course, we still have Indiana State on the schedule, a close rival. We've picked up Evansville for the first time in quite a long time, so we'll be playing them here at home. And then, of course, your Northern Illinois, your Western Illinois, people in the state. So, pretty much the same type of schedule we've had in the past. All tough games, but we always believe that playing a tough non-conference schedule helps prepare you for the conference. And really, as much as you want to win them all, at the end of the day, that conference record is the one that kind of gets you moving on into the postseason.
Well, and that's why one of the things women's college basketball seems to be at a really pinnacle of popularity. With I can't think of the girl at Baylor had that phenomenal year. Sure. Notre Dame's had success in basketball, and then obviously Tennessee and Connecticut have set the bar. How cool is it to be a women's college basketball right now? Really, when it's as popular as it's ever been.
Yeah, no, it's phenomenal. And the funny thing about my career, I tell you, is I became a head coach in the fall of 1986 when the three-point line and the shot clock were just new inceptions into the game. And it's funny how nobody used to shoot three-pointers unless you were down late in the game, and then it was usually only you had a specialist who was a shooter or a point guard. Now you got post players, the Brittany Griners of the world, the 6'7" kids shooting the three-pointers. So it's come a long way, but. Sometimes I have to pinch myself. I sit back and I think, gosh, I'm a Division I head coach, and there's only like 340 of those in the world, and I'm one of those. And how it's just it's very exciting. It's very humbling to think that I've worked this long to get this opportunity.
Got about a minute and a half. Steve, you got another question?
Well, what are you expecting to get from the girls coming into the fall?
Well, I think they know that I'm going to be full go, and so I think there's also going to be a little bit of unsureness from them. And I was joking with them about how many miles we're going to need to run, and really kind of getting their goat a little bit. But I just hard work both in the classroom and on the basketball floor. A commitment to excellence is something that we definitely want to do, and we will continue to do, and just that caring attitude among the staff, the players, and creating a family atmosphere. So,
in about 30 seconds, advice to high school, maybe high school kids that are thinking about coming to Eastern or wanting to play, college basketball.
Sure, it's a great game. It's a lot of work, and sometimes you wonder if it's all worth it. But basketball's been very good to me. In my career, it allows me to put food on my table and clothes on my back, and young players out there just need to keep working at it. They need to seek advice from coaches and find different ways to improve. And there's only three things that make you better in basketball, and that's a ball, a goal, and yourself. So don't blame the weather, don't blame your friends. Just get out there and get after it, and hopefully you'll be able to realize the dream of playing college basketball.
Well, Coach Buchanan, I appreciate you coming in today. I know it was a whirlwind since you had the press conference 11, made it over to WEIU, which, by the way, is the home of EIU women's basketball.
Sure.
So a little shameless plug there, we call that.
Yeah.
Best of luck this year. We'd like to have you back on Issues and Attitudes. This is Hit Mix 88.9 as well as WEIU.